In New Zealand politics, co-governance describes a political arrangement where Māori share power with ordinary government institutions. It can take many forms, ranging from a few Māori representatives on a resource management board to a separate Māori parliament. Co-governance is increasingly the centre point of political discourse on Māori issues. The Māori Party is fixated on the issue and wants to take co-governance to the most extreme logical conclusion by creating a Māori parliament. The right-wing parties are obsessed with fearmongering about co-governance. Co-governance is the centre point of Māori politics. It is my view that ultimately this is destructive. Co-governance is for the most part just a distraction from what really matters, and a very divisive distraction at that. Co-governance is a distraction from the issues of substance. The Māori people are suffering. In towns and cities across the country, they face many difficulties. Disproportionate poverty, disproportionate criminality, lower life expectancy, broken homes. This is a serious issue, and it needs to be addressed urgently. This demands a focus on the issues of substance: crime rates, poverty, life expectancy. Not fantasies about cementing ethnic divisions and creating new political institutions. Not radicalism and virtue signalling. Not shoehorning a rigid interpretation of the treaty onto modern New Zealand. Not treating ethnicity as the defining attribute of a person's political identity. Co-governance is just a divisive distraction. A distraction from the issues of disproportionate poverty, disproportionate criminality, and a lower life expectancy that really matter. Some say that co-governance is the solution to these issues. Give Māori control, and these issues will disappear. Some think giving Māori control will automatically improve things. Winston Peters and David Seymour are the best counterpoint to that claim. This is what happens when you are consumed by identity politics. You assume that identity is more important than ideas. This is a mistake. A good policy will help Māori regardless of whether a Māori or a Pākehā introduces it. A bad policy will hurt Māori regardless of whether a Māori or a Pākehā introduces it. In politics, ideas are more important than identity. Identity politics is just a distraction. Māori people can pass anti-Māori policy, and Pākehā can pass pro-Māori policy. Identity-based politics is stupid. What matters is good ideas and good policies. That is what will help Māori, and it does not matter who implements them. Disproportionate criminality, disproportionate poverty, lower life expectancy. How do we address these issues? It does not have to be that complicated. I cannot offer all of the solutions, but I know that virtue signalling and stoking division by trying to create ethnicity-based political institutions is not the answer. Some of the solutions are simple. Many of the issues that Māori face are a result of disproportionate poverty. So make it easier to escape poverty. Introduce a living wage and a tax-free threshold so that everyone who works can prosper. Make economic prosperity a guaranteed result of hard work. Introduce universal basic income so that people's basic well-being is always looked after and they can live with some sense of dignity. Empower trade unions so that those who work get the treatment they deserve. Māori will face far less poverty when escaping poverty is made easier. Simple class-based remedies may not address the entire issue, but they are a very good place to start. And there are other reforms too. Decriminalise cannabis so Māori stop facing discriminatory treatment for cannabis-related offences. Allocate every individual a fully funded doctor's appointment and a fully funded dentist appointment each year. This will reduce the degree to which poverty prevents people from looking after their health. Poor people die because basic health checkups are too expensive and they put them off until it is too late. Introduce free public transport so that poor people can move around more easily. This broadens employment and housing prospects, helping people to escape poverty and destitution. Many simple progressive reforms will benefit Māori massively. Disproportionate poverty is one of the primary issues that hurts Māori people. Policies that help people to escape poverty will massively benefit the Māori people. They also help many Pākehā and appeal to many Pākehā voters, making them more politically viable. I cannot detail all of the solutions here because these issues are complex, and I do not have all of the solutions. But I know that cementing and intensifying ethnic divisions with major co-governance policies is not the answer. It is a distraction, and a very divisive one. It is not a guaranteed solution to any of these issues. Good policy is good policy, regardless of the identity of whoever passes it. Bad policy is bad policy, regardless of the identity of whoever passes it. Ethnicity-based political institutions are not some kind of magic solution to these issues. The solution is good policies. Simple class-based solutions that benefit everyone and cut into these ugly statistics. Help the lower class and you will benefit Māori, as they are disproportionately lower class. Co-governance is little more than a culture war that will never go anywhere. A distraction. A distraction that hurts the Māori people by undermining attempts to address Māori issues with distractions and bad optics. Personally, I have little issue with minor co-governance. A few Māori representatives on a river management board. That doesn't particularly bother me, but the demands have been getting more and more extreme. The calls for a separate Māori parliament being a great example of this extremism. I am not sure why so many people have adopted this extreme position when they have failed to introduce and maintain more basic co-governance measures. If you cannot introduce and maintain basic co-governance structures, what makes you think radical ones have any prospect of succeeding? One could conclude that these ideas are not meant to succeed. They exist only to excite the base. A separate Māori parliament. This idea has no potential. It will never happen. It is a culture war issue devoid of serious political potential. It is a distraction. Even among Māori, this idea has failed to gain much traction. Māori Party rhetoric is very good at mobilising their base, but serves no purpose beyond encouraging people to protest. It is akin to the flailing of an infant, which is what should be expected from an extreme political minority. It is ultimately powerless and inconsequential. But it is still divisive, and it still makes the left look bad and damages Māori politics. We should also be sceptical of iwi-centred forms of co-governance. Some argue that local iwi should be appointing a certain number of Māori representatives to government institutions and authorities. There are some issues with this. If an iwi is not sufficiently democratic, this can become a serious issue. This is not Māori representation in a broad ethnic form, but instead the representation of one Māori organisation. That is very questionable. It should also be remembered that many of those who face poverty and destitution are urbanised and assimilated Māori. They have little to no connection to their iwi, and so an iwi-centred form of co-governance is a big mistake. Such a form of co-governance is over 100 years out of date. Many Māori have no connection to iwi. Iwi can no longer claim a monopoly on Māori representation, and nor can they claim to represent all Māori. Co-governance must cease to be the centre point of Māori politics. The co-governance measures are usually justified with reference to the Māori version of the treaty, or should I say, the true treaty. I do not think we can shoehorn a rigid interpretation of the treaty onto modern New Zealand. Modern New Zealand is vastly different to the New Zealand from which the treaty came. Our society has become unrecognisable. To mindlessly force an old agreement onto it would be idiotic and divisive. We must take the Māori text of the treaty seriously, but we must not dogmatically attempt to force it onto modern New Zealand. That will not right the wrongs of the past. It is a sloppy and careless attempt at addressing historical injustice. Co-governance should not be the centre point of Māori politics. It is a divisive distraction that damages attempts to aid impoverished Māori. We need simple, effective solutions. Simple policies that make it easier to escape poverty. These policies may not fix everything, but they are a good place to start. They will benefit everyone. They will disproportionately benefit Māori because Māori are disproportionately poor. They should be introduced as soon as possible. They must be prioritised over the divisive and distracting issue of co-governance.